Hey guys, CJ here, checking in with my review of Grayson issue 2, and as you know, I'm a huge Dick Grayson fan, so I'm going to be reviewing the series going forward. Honestly, I had read this one a while ago. I hadn't gotten the chance to actually sit down and put my thoughts on paper, but I finally got around to it, and so here we go. Down to the brass tacks, Grayson number 2 definitely improves on the opening issue in terms of, making more clear the intentions of many of the characters and clearing up a lot of the personal relationships, even though they have a lot of ground to cover, though. Remember how I said I wasn't crazy about where they decided to, jump in with this series? I feel like they kind of, they skipped a lot of the introductory stuff to get you right into the action and just decided to, I guess, wing it and explain as they go. I still don't think that's fully paid off yet. I mean, this one was action-packed. It had a lot of good character-building moments, but it's got a lot of ground to cover there. That being said, it did develop those personal relationships a little bit better, specifically Dick and Helena, and even, Dick and Batman, who we now see in the issue, and I'll get to that later. However, it leaves the large question unanswered. What the hell is Mr. Minos up to? Beyond that, it creates more mysteries, though these just serve to fully hook the reader even more, and safe to say, even if I wasn't reviewing it, I'd probably be buying this as a Dick Grayson fan. Now, the issue saw Dick and Helena picking up the slack left by an incapacitated Spiral agent and chasing down another meta-organ. This time it's a stomach, and it's in Old England. And this served as a great backdrop for more of the surprising comedy of the series. It's actually been pretty funny. And there was more of that here, specifically in the interactions of Dick and Helena. It also gave us a good look at the nature of the relationship between the two agents, and there's definitely some sexual tension there, a lot of which is still unexplained, but I'll leave that for later issues to decide. They actually found the meta-organ's host, and she's a British doctor who was given, I guess, super speed powers due to her metabolism or something like that. It's kind of left up into the gray area of comic book science. But it actually turned her into an omni-consuming cannibal because she aged at an advanced rate unless she consumed more and more calories. And thanks to her implant, that is, we got... this actually led to an interesting conflict between Dick, who wanted to turn her in, and Helena, who wanted the organ. And it also gave us a good look at how Spiral does business. They they're shady themselves. They might say that they're doing things for the greater good, for the good of humanity, but they're also cutting some corners. They're not always the good guys. And in this case, the right thing was probably to turn her into the authorities, but Helena wasn't for it. She actually used this weird Hypnos off switch that was, included in Dick's Hypnos implant. And that actually was really weird, so it seems like they don't trust him as much as he thinks they do. They wouldn't be wrong to trust him because it turns out he's a double agent who's working with Batman on deciphering who the hell Minos is and what the hell he's up to. And so far, his plan seems to be exposing the superheroes, a la Edward Snowden. But we'll see. I mean, their two interactions in this issue, though, were some of the highlights of the book, and we got to see the parental side of Batman that's sometimes lost in the dark and brooding nature of the modern character. And that being said, I'm still not crazy, like I said before, about where they decided to just jump in, and they decided, they just wanted you to get that James Bond vibe right away, so they just sent you on missions. And they still kind of are doing that. We don't understand 100% why, Dick is with Spiral or how he got there, although that kind of was cleared up a little more this issue when you find out that he's working with Batman. We can only hope we'll get more of a flashback, later on in the series. There was also an interesting scene with the Midnighter as we kind of decipher his origins completely, and it turns out he's more of a genetic experiment than we might have realized, and he's going to be definitely a surprisingly large threat to Spiral and Dick in the future. So I'm going to stick with the first issue's grading on this one, but with a difference. I think I said wait for it in trade, or at least wait for it to pick up a couple issues down the line, but I'm going to say if you already picked up the first one, picking up this one's a must. If you had, sort of written it off and picked up the first one, pick up this one. I think it'll definitely, clear up some of the issues you might have. It was an improvement. It's not like leaps and bounds ahead of the first issue, but it is still better. But if you haven't picked up the first one yet, I would say still wait down the line. Maybe a couple issues they'll have explained more, and they'll actually be able to, fully get going. I'd hesitate to say wait until it comes out in trade, because that could be months. But anyways, if you're still sitting on the fence, I'd stay on that fence a little longer. Give it 2 or 3 more issues, and we'll let you know. Although this, like I said, it's kind of a weird time because they're going to have a Future's End tie-in in the next issue, so I'm not sure how that's going to work, and I don't think we're going to get much more character development there. But anyways, signing off, this is the White Sheep, and I'll see you next time.